Well, hey everybody, it's Will, and I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough here of our upcoming December the 8th one-day blowout here in Hardin Valley. And I'm starting out here. There's an impressive collection. This is primarily science fiction books, but there's some other cool antique stuff around. And there's definitely some sciencey books because our client in this sale was both scientific and artsy. Got a couple decent clocks here. Mother Earth News, got a whole crate full of them. A nice leather sofa here, needs a little cleanup, and another pile full of books over here. And then we ran out of shelf space, so we were just piling them up everywhere. And there's CDs, DVDs, and VHS as well. Now this is a house that's been empty for a while, and it's only partially full. So what we did was just grab everything that was left and kind of pull it up into 2 or 3 rooms here. So this is one of the prizes of the sale. It's a cool mid-century kind of a Danish modern-looking chair. There's a couple, old stereo components there, and all the there was tons of miscellany. There was a whole shed outside. I'll give you a peek at that. We just pulled stuff out of and pulled it into different shelves in here. So a couple other rooms here in the house, and then I'll head outside. This was sort of overflow room here. Sorry, it's a little bit dim. It's getting late in the day as it does. It gets dark here so early now. But handy items, household items. There's some fun retro clothes in here. And there, again, as you see, lots of antiques. There's the old washboard. And then there's another row full of miscellaneous stuff down here. There's a nice queen-size mattress at the end of that hall, but that's the only thing down there, so I won't take you. There is a gun case here. And then if I roll back into the kitchen, there is a collection of tins, and there's some fun. Let's see, there's a carnival glass set on a tray back behind there, and there's some other glassware, and there's lots of scales in this house. You'll see lots of those as I go around. The old World's Fair beer. Got a set of china here that is Mikasa, old school Mikasa in the Bahia pattern, and everybody needs one of these. The jar full of pills. It's kind of a strange one. Lots of bookshelves here, and there's a mid-century table there with the old sort of brushed chrome edge. And oddly enough, the daughter of the family was a rock babe, so there's a whole stack of rock babe calendars from WIMZ. And there is miscellany over here in the corner. Coming out onto the sun porch, a little bit more furniture here, and sewing machine. There's a great crate over there in the corner. Some other good boxes. You're going to see in this house, and in the yard, there is a ton of fossils and agates. And we'll have a look at those as we go. This is one of my faves. I've never seen this one before. The Deep Sea Lobster Fun to Assemble Model Kit. Never seen the lobster. Old phone there. So anyway, this is a great root and haggle sale. If you are a dealer, there's all kind of treasures here. There's a whole host of license plates, more than just sitting there. And then there's outdoor stuff galore. We've got lots of pots and plants and everything. And over here, this is a one-of-a-kind thing. I think you'll probably never find another one of around here. This is apparently made by the Lenore City Forge. And it is a pig scalding tub. I don't know why you scald pigs, but anyway, that's the tub for it. And it's heavy, heavy, heavy. And then over here, this was the she shed that a big tree fell on the roof. So we pretty well purged it, but it's got a cool old, the old metal rocker there, and a very much needs some love Hoosier cabinet. There's several sets of the lockers around. You've got lots and lots of gas cans. There's ammo cans, that sort of thing here too. And then in this room, which is, you can see where the roof is broken, we've purged pretty much everything, but there is a bunch of books. So this is an enter at your own risk space. But those who dig may dig well in this place. Okay, coming around, trying not to make you dizzy by moving too fast, but there's a lot of ground to cover, more than usual. There is a very overgrown chicken house over there. So, and there's some lumber inside if you need that. And there's a garden shed way back over there. And there's some fun garden shed items in there. If you need to dig some posts, this is a post hole digger for a tractor with a universal type hitch on it. And then coming out into this space, you'll find all kind of junk that could come in handy. Here's some good rough sawn lumber. There's a nice mower over there. There are some tools. There is water because it just rained yesterday. And yeah, once again, if you like to dig, there's probably some great stuff in here. We did not plunge the depths of this room very much. There's another room on this side. I am selling some scrap out of here, so it may look a little bit different on sale day. But, oh yeah, this one's awesome. Everybody needs the ceramic heart model. There's terrariums and fish tanks here. There's a good antique upside down stool there. Lord knows what's in that pile. Scary to find out. Looking back over this way, shelving, old electronics, and things I don't even know what they are. But there's a vacuum gauge. There's some cool old electronic stuff stashed back up in here. It's probably got a little wet in the ears, but mason jars. More cool crates. So interesting stuff here. Now, I'm going to take you up into this jumbled mess. This is where a tree fell on the shed. As I said, the house has been empty for a while. But, I got to take one pass through the woods here. We'll take a roundabout. Look, this is just an adventure city place to come root and haggle and dig, because one of the other weird things these guys bought out was a rock shop, and they dumped the inventory in the yard. And so, I don't know if you can see them, but there's gorgeous agates down here in the dirt. So bring a rake, dig for agates. All right, let's see. I can't remember how I can get in this building from where I'm standing. I'm going to take the long way around here. But the cool thing about this is a very interesting guy. As I mentioned, he was a UT art professor, and he cast bronze. So what we have in this building is a bronze foundry, which has to be really one of the only ones in Knoxville ever. But this is for sale. So what you have here is the crucible for melting bronze, and the fan and the gas lines that you need to run the whole thing. And there's one of the crucibles that you can lower in there. And I'm sure that the tongs and that sort of stuff with it to run it are also here. And then you'll find around this all kind of good workshop stuff, although obviously some of it's going to be rusty. But there is some handy items. So there is a metal cutting bandsaw, big old pot here, wire. There's chemicals and things that you need for this process in the cabinets. Shelves have gone a little rusty on us, but there is a good forge. That is a blacksmith's forge there. And then over there, I'm staring straight at it, there's the side view on it. That's the bellows, and the parts for that bellows are at its feet. Now this would be a mold for casting bronze. And then there's other cool equipment and stuff around on these shelves. So this is very much enter at your own risk, but dig and root and find cool stuff kind of space. And again, in all the sales I've done, 400 sales in 10 years, I've never had a space quite like this. Coming across here, Coke bottles out here in the grass, or the leaves, an old heavy-duty store scale set up right there. So that's also tucked away. Here's a concrete mixer tucked up back here, and windows and coolers and more gas cans. The dumpster we filled up, there's some good wood posts and that sort of things. This building here's got, man, I'm liking the liking. That's awesome. Okay, this building here has all kind of fishing poles in the ceiling, and then there's an outbuilding with all kind of reels. There's another terrarium fish tank thingy, and that tub right there is full of metal scrap. Coming around this one, there is a fair bit of interesting wood artifacts, and then we have a workshop. So if I cruise into this workshop, lights a little dim, sorry about that, but there is hand tools, power tools, lights, masks, guns, there's pneumatic pieces, there's propane pieces, there's nailers, and some of his artwork. There's grinding bits. Let's see if we can get a light on in here. Let's come back to that. Then I've got the Craftsman 2-speed bandsaw with a tiltable head, and you've got a propane heater, all kind of parts and pieces, hand tools, odds and ends. There's a chop saw, motorcycle helmets around. There's a few of those. There's a bunch of toolboxes, And of course, if you were ambitious and needed some of the bigger pieces, you could get some workbenches out of here. And then there is, once again, lots of wood, because there was some carving going on as part of the sculpting that our professor did. And then God knows what's on those shelves, but there it is. You can have a dig. There's a bunch of stuff. And again, as I mentioned, wood shelf, toolboxes, shelves. Here's a bead roller. I don't exactly know what that is. It's a bead roller kit, but there it is. And then, yeah, there's the Craftsman toolbox. Good shape with keys. Okay, so rolling onward. We've got one last space to go. And this is the space that we pulled from these outbuildings, like the one with a broken roof. Well, we pulled the cool stuff and put it up down here. So a little bit dim in here. I will try to go a little bit slower so you've got good resolution. But here's an example. A magnificent project chair, but that's Empire. That's probably 1850s. Here's a smoker. There's 25 gas cans in here if there's one. Coca-Cola crates. We put a lot of our crafty type box lots here. There's a Hondo amplifier that works. Here's more crafting. And it's dig and root, because it's just like, hey, let's get all this stuff out of the buildings and put it somewhere and where it's dry. And that's just how it is. You're going to take some digging, including on this shelf over here, where we have several boxes that are inventory from when our client had an antique booth. So there's all kind of stuff. Hey, I didn't see this before, but there is a metal detector, and here is a trolling motor, and they both work. So that's good news. And then coming over here, there's a rolling base for a shop vac. That electric cultivator works. Now this is another kind of a one of a kind. It actually has some Hardin Valley historic value. This thing was in the shop at the corner of Marietta Church Road in Hardin Valley decades ago. One of the earliest shops in Hardin Valley, and sat on that table. And I think that cash register is from the shop too. So very old school Hardin Valley artifacts. There's more scales here, and you're going to find here. I like this one. There's old toys, but there's motorcycle saddlebags. Here's some collectibles. Yeah, I remember pulling these out of one of the buildings. There's dolls, jewelry boxes, art supply again, and then miscellany of all kinds. We just brought it down here, packed it up on the shelves. But in this corner, there's a couple of particularly good things. Down there on the ground is a 1200 watt generator, and then up on the wall is a whole host of your laboratory glass. And then in here, there's all other laboratory stuff. There's lab chemicals as well. And then on this table, we started consolidating a lot more of these rocks. So I mentioned, there was agates. We showed you there's some agates here, but these are fossils too. There's fern fossils. I've seen some fish and what do you call them, like trilobite fossils, but there's another fern fossil, a big one. So there's a lot of cool stuff out here. Great old tripod, workbenches, old school sleds, another tripod. Somewhere I think I overlooked already was all the fishing reels. There's an antique saw, and there are several of these minnow nets, and more. So again, this is December 8th sale. Watch the website. It's going to be some day during the week that we get this appointment scheduler up. And there's a whole bunch of sales coming right in a row. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the website for updates on everything we've got going on. Thank you. Bye.